Hello, and welcome to At All Hours. I'm your host, Greg Ramirez, and much like the last few episodes, it's been a while, but also much like the last few episodes, we are back. We are, in fact, so back, it's like whatever the fuck I said last time. We don't have to go down that rabbit hole again, but it has been a while. Don't think I wasn't coming back. I was inevitably going to come back. I was always going to be back. So back. But, yeah, I didn't feel like that for some time, I think. But, I don't think for any reason in particular. I mean, work just got kind of crazy, but like, you know, in a good way, I suppose. Not like things have been so horrible that I haven't had any time. It's just, a lot of craziness. A lot of craziness has been going on in my life, but whatever. Fuck all that. I'm not here to make excuses. I'm giving some context. That's it. Okay? Whatever. You guys don't care about any of that. All you care about is entertainment. That's all I'm here for. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I was never gonna be gone though for too long, just because. For one, I forgot and continued to pay my monthly thing to put out podcasts. So I for all those months that you guys weren't getting stuff, I was still paying for it. So for what it's worth. There's that. So I was just gouging money from my account. So that's nice. But a lot's happened since the last episode. I think the last episode is when I was talking about the Epstein files, Donald Trump, all that different stuff. And I mean, there's no kind of no point to harp on that anymore, really. The guy's not on it. Come on, guys. Let's just let it go. There's no such thing as a list. No, just kidding. It got put out, and it's like a whole thing now. I don't know. It doesn't matter. This isn't a politics podcast. That's not why you guys come here for that. Listen to me doing an attempt at being interested in podcasting. In podcasting also, but politics. I get a lot of my politics from other podcasts, like every real American. So, whatever. Fuck all that. He's either going to get in trouble or he's not. And, I mean, it's not looking great. So, whatever. What else has happened since the last time? I don't know when the last episode came out. I should have checked that. But, I mean, I don't really do much preparation for any of these. I mean, it probably shows because it's just like, sometimes I'm just kind of meandering through whatever it is I'm trying to get across, like I am right now. But there is a lot that I just want to talk about in general. That's not necessarily things that have happened in the world, because I mean, a lot of the times when you're talking about things that are happening in the world, most of the time it's not good. It's like politics in general, probably not fun. If you're interested in politics, or if you're like remotely up to date with politics, everything about politics right now is not fun to talk about. And politics are never fun to talk about in general. It's usually people are never pumped to talk about it unless they're like the most insufferable person of all time and that's all they talk about. But most of the time it's not a good time. And then it's like, well, what about like current world news? A lot of wars, a lot of politics. What about technology? And it's like, well, AI, that's huge right now. 20 years ago, that would have been like, oh my God, this is revolutionary. Not so much now. Every year it's different AI, or it's like we can't even tell the difference anymore. It's getting kind of dodgy, right? A little weird. What else has happened that's not something horrible in the world? Well, for one, I still have a lot of topics to cover anyway, in general. But I'm just trying to think of things that I guess I feel like I need to catch people up on. For one, oh my God, there's a plane passing over or something. There's some sort of flying machine outside that just passed over a little while ago too. I'm being gang-stalked. That's not what I was going to talk about, but that's definitely something I think is not interesting, debatable. A reality, inarguable. So I guess I'll get back to the other thing that I was going to say. But I am being gang-stalked. I can't talk. I can't say it too loud right now, but they're around me. Which, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if I'm right. I'm still new to this. Like, I'm really trying to reach out to like a community, to see like what do I do? So you're being gang stalked. Like, there's not like a playbook on this. And the worst part is like, hey, for step one of being gay, maybe this should be like the playbook. It's like step one. It's like the 5 stages of grief, right? Step one is like, what is it? Denial. No one's going to believe you. Nobody is going to believe you. That's step one of the gang stalking playbook. No one's going to believe you. That's fine, because they are following you. They are watching you. But no one's going to believe you. That's kind of where I'm at, I think, is like, well, for one, Andy believes me. And Noelle, I don't think Noelle really cares either way. Like, if I was, like, if there was some sort of entity, like a group, a shadow organization that was following me, I don't think Noelle would care enough to be in a panic about. And nothing that, like, he's like, oh, he doesn't care about me. It's not that. I think he just is like, dude, it's all inevitable, man. Or some fucking bullshit like that. I don't know. This dude fucking trips me out. He's pretty cool though. But it's like, I don't know what else to do. So let me break it down to you. My neighbor is gang stalking me. Okay. My neighbors are watching me. It always starts with them too. It's people so close. Of course it's them. Like, they see me every day. But when I leave my house, they leave their house. Isn't that kind of weird? I don't know. It's like something I noticed, and I was like, I'm being paranoid. And then I was like waiting and waiting and waiting. And then I would go out and I'm like, I'm gonna pretend to get something from my car. Like, I have something in my car, right? I know the inventory of my car, right? So I'm gonna go to my car and I'm gonna get something, air quotes. Okay? Are you with me so far? And then I go out to my car. As soon as I open my door, their door opens. And it's like, I'm going to go into my car, get something. I like, fumble around. I'm like darting my eyes around. And then they go out and they like, they go to their car. Kind of also just kind of fumble around looking, air quotes, again, looking for something, right? What are you getting? I know what I'm getting. What are you getting? Kind of weird, right? So I started to take note of that. I started to notice those things. And then I thought, okay, let's try it again, right? I waited a couple days. Even also, if I go to work, if I go to the store, where I actually have to go to my car, I have to leave my house for anything. As soon as my door opens and I step out, their door opens. Someone steps out. Also, this phenomenon doesn't happen to Noelle or Andy when they leave the house. Explain that, liberals. Anyway. So that's happening. I can prove it. Are you going to believe me? Probably not. So I haven't, this has also been going on for like a few months. I barely, like, I noticed it a while ago, and then I tracked it. for a while until I saw like there's a consistent pattern, right? Kind of weird, right? So I finally built up the courage, and I was like, I told Andy, I'm like, don't laugh at me, but they're watching me right now. And like she laughed at me, rightfully so, though. I mean, it's like, if I come to you and I tell you something like this, you're probably going to think it's a joke initially until I look you dead in the eye and I'm like, I think the government is watching me. But also, it's like, it's not surprising to me because of the fact that I've said enough stuff to be shadow banned on Instagram, which I'll get into that as well right now because I deleted my Instagram. Um, Not because of that. It's kind of related, but not entirely related. I'm not like going full like schizo and like having maybe, although some aluminum foil around the house would be probably pretty good. Would that enhance my Wi-Fi or would it make it worse? I'll call someone about that later. Um, Actually, maybe I'll make a quick call right now while I keep talking. I think I know exactly who to call for that. Because like there's literally no one else that. What the fuck was I listening to? What the hell? Okay. I have one person in mind that I think I could call for something like that, but that's not why I deleted it. Um, but it is partially like part of the reason why I don't have it. Let's see if they pick up. I,
Who's bobbing?
Hey, I have a question for you. Um, if I covered my house in aluminum foil, would
Uh-huh.
that make my Wi-Fi better or worse?
It would make it better.
See, that's what I was thinking. Okay. Um, what do I have to leave any like holes in the aluminum foil anywhere, or do I have to leave a little bit open at the top to let some internet in and out, or is it to kind of just
Dude,
cover it?
it's not about the internet. It's about your phone. The aluminum will disrupt your cell phone signal, so you need to leave holes so you have service when you're inside the house. The Wi-Fi is going to be great, but your cell service is going to get fucked.
Oh, okay.
So you need to leave some space in there to let the satellite signal through into your house. That's why your cell phone has like little rubber bars around it. Like if you look at it,
Uh-huh.
or in the case of your Pro, like the whole back, like little square in the middle.
Oh shit!
Um,
I didn't even notice that.
uh, yeah, the little square in the back is glass to let the signal through. Um,
Interesting.
so yeah, you could cover your whole house in aluminum, and yes, your Wi-Fi will get much better, but your cell phone signal will get fucked.
That's fine. I don't really need that anyway. What about the floors? Like, do I cover the floors, or is that enough of a? Or I guess f- phones only move up and down, right? It like goes up. Like I don't know. Can I just put the mailman just passed. I didn't even hear him. He's fucking anyway. Um do I cover the floors in aluminum foil or do I just put like a base of it? Well, I guess the dirt is also like gonna probably stop it, right?
You know what? Maybe if you do leave the floors alone, like you could, like that would be your out of the cell phone
Mm.
signal. But I don't know because yeah, the floor is grounding, so
Yeah.
I don't know. You're gonna have to test that out.
That's honestly
But
the only way I could think that of finding out is by covering my house in aluminum foil.
yeah. but I want to say no. I want to say that it wouldn't work. You'd have to also make holes in the aluminum on the floor.
Mm.
Um, but because the Wi-Fi signal bounces everywhere. It doesn't have a distinction of like direction.
Mm.
So
I really
uh,
thought it was just up and down, but that makes more sense.
no, dude,
Um,
it's like all around. It's like a bubble. Um,
I can feel it under my skin right now. It's freaking me out, dude.
mhm,
Um,
mhm. You can
okay.
feel the static sometimes. under your skin. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I feel
But
it right now. That's why I'm currently I'm midway through covering my house in aluminum foil, and I was like, I think I should call him just to see if he can help me out. Um,
Absolutely.
I got through 2 rolls, and I was like, is it really worth it? And then you definitely reassured me of that it is, that I was on the right path. So
No, dude, you're doing good. That's a good thing. Like when the fucking when homeless people have that little aluminum foil hat, like we should all be doing that. But like,
see,
no,
that's what I'm
we're the
saying.
stupid ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I just wanted to check because I started contemplating that, and I have some ideas that
No, dude.
I have some ideas that'll get back to you in time, but you know.
Dude, so you know what you should do, and this is like a two-in-one solution all around.
Uh,
You can cover your entire house, and like normally people waste a bunch of fucking stupid money on insulation and sound deadening and like
uh-huh.
solid doors. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. You know what you can do? Get a cheap ass roll of car insulation.
Oh,
And just plaster it all over your house. It's aluminum anyway because it has to be compatible with the car. Um, and it fucking insulates your house because it's meant to insulate cars too.
dang.
So you can just insulate your entire house with car insulation, and then boom, free Wi-Fi, and now your and and now your house is extra cozy and doesn't sound as loud.
My house does sound pretty loud sometimes, dude. Um, okay. Well, I just wanted to ask you that because I mean, like I said, I'll explain it. It'll all come to you at some point, but yeah, if anything, I could explain it a little more later on. But that's all I wanted
Absolutely.
to ask you. So
I
I'll
am so invested right now.
you'll, you'll see, dude. You'll all see. But all right. Well, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you probably tonight then. Let's see
Okay.
what's up. All right.
Okay.
Later.
Anyways, later.
Uh, I'm not gonna tell him that he's on the podcast. He's just gonna find. He's gonna be like, "Why did you ask me all that?" I'm like, "Dude, I can't let you know too much." For a second, I forgot I was even doing a podcast. I was just on the phone with him, and then I was like, I looked at the time, and I was like, "Oh shit." Well, you heard it here first. He's something of a scientist himself. Um, I don't think I mentioned him by name, but you don't need to know that. You already know too much anyway. But he's uh he's my go-to guy. He's the hacker of the group, you know. So he's the tech guy. He's the one that wears the little Morpheus glasses that just clip onto your nose. Anyway, so I'm being gang stalked. Uh, and it's, it's been cool. It's been fine. Like it's not really, the end of the world as I know it, but um, it's just kind of, it's like the final. I don't know that I'm still writing the playbook on uh, gang stalking or being gang stalked because I don't know how to do it yet. But I would also assume like once you're gang stalked, you'd probably be pretty good at it after, right? Whatever. I'm writing the playbook on how to come to terms with the fact that you are being gang stalked. So, I think the final step. I mean, obviously, it's a grief. It's a grief. It's just acceptance. So I just need to find all the steps between the number 1 and number 5. I know that's not a very good start, but I feel like me being at a stage where I'm like accepting of it. I go out, say hi to my gang stalkers. There's helicopters that fly around my house. There's people that know me at the gas station, and they're always really cool with me. Is it because I go in there every night and I buy booze? Maybe. Or is it because they work for the government? I don't know. I don't know. And you know what? I don't particularly care. Because as far as I'm concerned, everyone's watching me. I mean, I feel pretty safe. All eyes are on me, like Tupac, you know? And then people are nice to me when I approach them. Not bad. Not a bad deal. I don't know what I did. Well, I mean, oh, that's also what I was going to talk about. I was going to say I don't know what I did, but that's why I'm shadow banned on Instagram. It's also like I've been I got banned on Twitter a long time ago. I don't even remember what it was. It was for like inciting acts of political violence or something. I don't know. It was also like I think trying to engage people into inciting acts of violence within certain neighborhoods. I don't remember. Okay, it was a long time ago. Um, but apparently I'm not a changed person because my Instagram's also been like heavily shadow banned. Where I remember years ago, if I would post, well, I mean, not even like years ago, like so long ago, but maybe like 3 years ago, before I put out my album, and like obviously way before I did at all hours, any of that stuff. Um, I or maybe it was a little more than three. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But I'd post like music or I'd post videos of me playing guitar or like playing songs, my own songs, covers of stuff, and just things like that. And or I would post what I called looper sessions, where I would use like a looper pedal and just kind of play guitar and would just fuck around for like 30 minutes or something. And I'd post that. And it was cool because like I would post it, I would use social media the way I'm used to using it, which is like using hashtags and trying to promote it, put it in my story, put like a bunch of different stuff. And people would like I would get random accounts, not just like bots, but maybe it was like automatic replies, whatever. It doesn't matter, but I would get like actual accounts um basically like reaching out and being like hey, this is really cool, or just like putting like liking my post or commenting. Sometimes people would DM me, and if it was like it seemed like an automatic DM, but sometimes it was just like someone would actually say something if I had replied, and I would talk with people like other musicians, and it was really cool. And then by the time I put out, I think is when I first started putting out actual singles. I put out Strawberry Lemonade, I think Beach House and Whisper as singles first before I put out Apocalypse. And those, like, when I put them out, the songs were like, fine. But when I would post about it, it was just like I didn't really get anything. And like I wouldn't get like really like replies or people really viewing my story or viewing any of my stuff much. And then over time it was kind of like less and less, to the point where it was just like the only interactions I would get on anything I did was from people that already followed me. So I kind of looked into it, and then it was like you're probably shadow banned, which is basically like you can still run your account, but the only people that will ever see anything you post are people that already follow you. So it's like you can't really gain more of a following without, I mean, a lot of extra work probably, or without someone like promoting your account, which I wasn't gonna really do that. Um, and normally, I mean, I wouldn't really care. Like I just have my friends on Instagram, but it was also kind of like that's when I was like putting out Apocalypse, and I really wanted it to get some attention. I thought that'd be cool. Like it's not really why I did it necessarily, but it was like it would have been nice to see like get some followers, or see like if there were new people that were interested in my music that weren't just like people I knew personally. And the same thing for At All Hours, like having a podcast and maybe gaining some traction, like that would be kind of cool. And over time it was just like nothing. No matter what I posted, if I was doing it consistently, if I was posting memes, if I was posting content, if I was posting anything, didn't get anything. The only people that viewed any of my stuff were people that I knew. And it was like it was just weird. And then I looked into it, and basically it was like you're probably shadow banned, and realistically the only way out of that is you can delete the thing that is causing the ban, which I didn't have anything on my account anymore that was like that would have been like a bannable offense. um then it's like if I can't, if I'm not, if there's nothing there that's a bannable offense, I can't delete it anymore. And the things that have been, because I've posted stuff before, again, in the past that were maybe a little naughty, but I would post them and then it's like, you can't have this up, dude. Like you violated policy or whatever. Some bullshit. I don't know. I just ignored it. And then it usually gets taken down. That was what I was like under that assumption, was that it's getting taken down. And I just let it get taken down and then I just deleted it. Or I just, the story passed or whatever. But there's no like, there was nothing currently on my account that I could really like delete. There was nothing because everything was gone. It was like a story post that I would make and it was, time had passed, it was gone. So it was like, what do I do now? And there, like, I looked into it and it was basically just like, you got to delete the account, throw it out, make a new one. And it was like, that sucks because like I've had the same account for, I don't know, since like 2013. I only know that because I looked at my like archived posts. And I think I remember my first post because I remember driving back home from being at my cousin's house, and it was 4th of July, or yeah, I think it was 4th of July, and we were going, my uncle's birthday was the next day, so we're going back to my grandma's house where I lived, and I remember downloading Instagram and taking a picture of a little bear and then posting it. And it's so weird to think now that like at the time, like, so, or like how social media has changed in the past uh 12 years, something like that, 13 years. Because like when I first got Instagram, I think I was already like kind of late to getting it too. Like I feel like, obviously I think Instagram's been around longer than that, but like I remember getting Instagram and thinking like I was already kind of like people already had it for a while. And but during that time it was like you would see something, or like you're like, I'm getting breakfast at this breakfast place, right? Take a picture of it, put getting breakfast, yum, hashtag also yum, and then you post it, just fucking send it out into the ether. And then your whole feed is just like what your friends are doing through like the day. And it's like way before, like, obviously like stories. Like I think that was from like Snapchat. I think Snapchat had like stories that you could post for the day, where it's like you'd take a picture of something, post it, and it's gone within 24 hours, because that was like Snapchat's whole thing, right? And then Instagram integrated that, where they had story posts. So you can post something and it just exists for 24 hours and then it's gone. Unless you make a like dedicated post. And before it wasn't like that. It was the fucking wild, wild west of posting. Who gives a shit? And you'd just be like sitting outside with like a couple, like, I don't know how many of these posts I've come across where you're just like guys outside with their bros. They take a quick selfie together, having like a beers, and they like put up some sort of hand sign or their beer, and then they post it, chilling with the bros. Classic, iconic. You know who's got some of the most the most insane old Instagram posts is fucking LeBron James. If you do like a quick Google search of LeBron James old Instagram posts, it's the funniest shit ever. It's just him being super weird and like being like completely normal. But even like had it not been LeBron James and you were just like seeing like someone post, like their old post, you'd be like, you're fucking weird as hell, dude. Just, I don't know, insane. But it was a completely different time. So I had a lot of like old archived posts like that, where it was just like, funny little posts, something that I would have now probably just put on my story, but it's weird to like look back at all those old posts and be like, damn, I've had this thing for a long time. Like back before it was cultist. Like I didn't make a cultist account. It was my old username or like my old like handle, and then I changed it to local cultist, but it's been the same account since I made it. And it I don't know, it was kind of weird trying to go. It was also a fucking bitch to go through that process of like deleting the both accounts. So I have the cultist account and then the I had to delete the at all hours account because they're separate accounts. But the cultist account, it was, I mean, kind of sucked because I'm like, dang, like I have like all my friends on here, and then I have like people that have followed me like over the years that have just continued to follow me, like that I met on Instagram, gone. And then with the at all hours account, it's, I mean, a lot of it, the only people that followed that account were like literally friends or family. But Instagram has this thing where it's kind of like if one account, if there's like kind of two related accounts that the same thing happens to both of them. So like if I get blocked by someone on the cultist account, they're also blocked from me seeing them through the at all hours account. And then if I'm shadow banned on one account, I'm shadow banned on the other account. Essentially, if not, that's how it felt because I couldn't reach anything with the at all hours account either. Maybe it's just because no one gave a fuck or no one cared about the posts, which is also something obviously that's the first thing that crossed my mind. I'm like, maybe no one just cares about anything I posted, but I've seen engagement before. That's why I'm like, that doesn't seem like that's what it is, but who knows? Um, I kind of figured though, like at the very least, if I do make a new account and the same thing keeps happening, that I know with certainty it's just like I need to promote it harder, rather than like, oh, it's probably because I'm shadow banned or maybe it's this, maybe it's that. It's like then I know I just need to work harder on it, you know. Um, Also something that's pretty interesting that I came across. So like I've deactivated my account in the past before, and like you know it's fine. Basically, it's just like an off switch. No one can search you. That's it, and then you just turn it back on whenever. When you delete your account, it's kind of the same thing, but you can't make a new account until 30 days have passed from the time of your deletion. So if I were to, I think it's been like 4 or 5 days since I've deleted my accounts. Um, if I were to log back into Instagram with either of those accounts right now, it'll reactivate them, and it'll just be like that, like it never happened. And then if I try to delete it again, I'd have to wait another 30 days on like from the date that it started. So if I make another account right now, I have to, uh, like or if I wanted to make another account, I'd have to wait for those 30 days to pass before I even can make a new account. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But what was actually interesting that I came across, which is you can uh, memorialize your account. Sounds kind of cool, right? Maybe like you're like, oh, I want to delete my account, but maybe I want to, you know, have some memory of it. I've had it for a long time. I've, you know, had a lot of memories with it. Maybe I do want to keep it around. You know, you can memorial. That's kind of cool. Maybe you have to have it for 10 years and then you can memorialize it. You know, it's like if you're going to make a new account, same rules apply, but you can memorialize it, leave it there, and then make a new account separately. You know, I thought that's maybe what it was. Not so. It turns out Instagram has a feature where when you're going to the options to delete or deactivate your account, it gives you the option to memorialize it by asking you what would you like for your account, what would you like for your account to do after you die. I I thought that was pretty fucking weird. Like I didn't know that that was an option that you can have on Instagram where it's like you're imagine you have cancer, right? you have some sort of terminal illness. Imagine you have something where it's like you talk to a doctor and they're like, you have 4 months to live, right? There's probably a lot that goes through your mind. Or let's say you have something where you're going to undergo a procedure that can kill you. Clip that. And the doctors are like, we're going to schedule it out 2 weeks from now. It's not 100% guaranteed that you're going to survive. Just letting you know. So you have 2 weeks potentially to live. Things like that, I'm sure there's a lot that goes through someone's mind when they're in a position like that. I don't know. I've never been in a position like that. I've been close to people. I've had family members that have been in positions like that. And I've been lucky enough to be able to talk to those people and kind of pick their brain and kind of see what does go through their mind. But it still cannot give you the perspective. It's like having a kid, I'm sure. It's like if anyone talks to a woman that has had a child, it is impossible to understand what that's like. You can try to wrap your head around it. You can have things that can compare to some degree of like maybe pain, maybe the weight that they carry, maybe this, and little things like that. But you're never going to know unless you've experienced having a child, right? You're never going to know that. I just kind of don't feel like Instagram is going to be on your list of things that you give a fuck about. Because, like, how are you going to be like, oh my God, I only have 2 weeks left. Oh my God, 2 weeks. What if, oh my God, I might not survive the procedure. Like, oh my God, so-and-so is going to be graduating this year. Oh my God, I might not even be able to make that. My birthday, I might not even be able to get to seat 34. I mean, oh my God, my followers on Instagram are going to be so upset. Like, what? Who gives a shit? It's so weird to me to have that like that got pat. Like, people were like, hey, I got an idea for people that are going to kick the bucket. And like, that's something that like passed the, like, okay, yeah, I like that. I like that. Whatever you're saying, I like that. Like, I don't know. To me, that's kind of strange. Whatever. But you can memorialize your Instagram. Basically, what happens is like when you go to that option, you put down another like account. Like, you select a separate account that once you're or they basically have access to. That they can access your account, and then basically like when you do die, they can then use their like access thing that you permitted them to go into their account. And you have to provide, this is also, it doesn't end there. That's not just like the weird part. You have to provide proof of death. Like, you have to have a death certificate, submit it to Instagram, and be like, hey, I'm the person that they announced, or that they decided was going to, not announce like it's going to be a big fucking thing, but like, I'm the account that was given permission to memorialize this account, and I have proof of death. I had to get the death record to Instagram, and then you give it to them, and then from there your account basically just stays there, but instead it adds the term remembering in front of your Instagram handle. So for instance, I was local cultist on Instagram. If I died, God willing, and I, all that stuff, all those steps were taken, it would then say remembering local cultist, which is like the funniest obituary headline for Charles Manson. Like, it's so funny. Remembering local cultist Greg Ramirez. But yeah, it's a strange thing to kind of come across those things. But anyway, that's why I was being that's why I was like deleting it for the most part. There's other reasons too, but they don't. That's like the main reason why I'm deleting it entirely. It's because like I can't promote anything, and if I'm making stuff, I would like to promote it. So I thought that'd be kind of cool. And it also just gives me a break off of everything. Allows me to be more creative. That's the kind of more gay answer, but it is what it is. Okay. It is pretty interesting though, because one of my favorite things, this is also kind of what led me down this rabbit hole in the first place, is there was an old I now I wish I had Instagram so I could bring it up to see if it's still active. But I mean, if you're listening and if you're remotely interested, you can look it up. Or you know what? Actually, I don't want to. I don't want to bring it up. Never mind. I'm not going to mention the name of the account, but uh, which I don't know if I've already talked about this in a previous episode. Well, either way, there's an account that I followed for a while. I don't know if it's still active. I remember his name, like his like a big part of his like a handle, but he would basically post things about like there's people watching him. There was people like he would see spirits, he would see people like men in suits, he would see aliens, he would see different things, and he was just posting like post after post after post throughout his day of things that he would see. So it's like he'd be recording like a tree, and he's like, you can see, like it's just like a caption, and it'll just say like, "There's these creatures that are watching me through the trees." And you kind of look, and it's like you're trying to find. At first, I was trying to find like what he was kind of saying. Maybe if it was like pareidolia, which is like the. It's like, you know, when you see faces and stuff, like even if you look at like the front of a car or like the back of a car, you kind of see like two eyes and like a mouth kind of thing. It's pareidolia. It's like this where you see faces and stuff. So I thought it was maybe that, and it was just kind of like he thought he was, and maybe obviously if he had some sort of mental mental health issues potentially, that he was, you know, those kind of working together, I'm sure can kind of lead to some pretty severe consequences. And I thought it was that. So I kind of look, and I'm like trying to see what he's seeing, and it was just nothing was ever there. And I believe in his bio, or it's or somewhere in like one of his posts, uh it was about like that he had schizophrenia, or maybe it was just something I kind of put together that he had schizophrenia. But a lot of people would put in his comments that like a lot of stuff that would essentially like really make him more paranoid. So they would say a lot of stuff that was not very nice. Um, but from that, for a while, he had stopped posting, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if maybe he just got off Instagram, or if he, I don't know, something worse. I hopefully not. Hopefully he's okay. But it was just kind of strange. But because of that, I had followed him because it was just interesting to me. Like I never commented, I never did anything like that. It was just like it was interesting to see someone that I like personally don't have in my life that's like that. That was like posting and kind of doing stuff like that. It was just interesting, and because of that, I started getting more things like that suggested to me, like more accounts suggested to me, and it eventually led to gang stalking videos of like people claiming that they're being gang stalked. And I was like, this is trippy. Just straight up, just people like posting anything thinking like people are watching them. Sometimes people going out and yelling at the people that they are accusing of gang stalking them, and they're like, what the fuck is your problem? Which is exactly what they would say if they were gang stalking you. So, you know, you can't win. But that's kind of like what had led me to that, and then when I started actually being gang stalked, um, it was a little jarring. Was not expecting that. But yeah, it was. I mean, I don't know how I managed to tie any of this together. I don't even know if any of it was really tied together too well. Um, but whatever, right? So, I mean, that's kind of the explanation for most of these things, for some of these things anyway. I'm probably going to continue to wrap my house in aluminum foil. But that was a few of the things that this is what I was also going to say earlier. I joined a punk band. Yeah. I joined a punk band. They're called the Daisies. They're pretty cool. Very cool dudes. Uh how I met them was kind of an insane thing that happened, which maybe I'll have them on at some point instead of just blowing my load right now. I also got a couple of new tattoos. That's pretty fun. I met a couple of the guys from The Sound of Animals Fighting. I went to go see them back to back nights. I got them to draw on me and I got it tattooed. So that was really fun. Um, but I want to go into more talking about the Daisies, but I'd rather just have them on and talk to them about them. But they're awesome and they're super cool dudes. Um, but I mean, I also didn't, I had more of a list of things I wanted to talk about today. I just didn't think I would get into explaining like life and death cycles of Instagram and gang stalking and schizo posting and shit like that. But, remembering local cultist is kind of funny though. Not too many cults anymore, I feel. Or maybe we're just not looking close enough. There is actually a cult that is right as I say, bad Chiwiwi, go away. Bad Chiwiwi. God damn you, Chiwiwi. Anyway, there is right as I say. There's not that many cults anymore. There is actually some cults, quite a few. I think the Om Shinrikyo is still an actual cult. In case you don't know what that is, um, there were a cult I think in like the 80s. I want to say in Japan, where this big fat Japanese guy told very wealthy salarymen, Japanese salarymen and politicians, that he's the second coming of Jesus. And they're like, okay, here's all of our money. And that was it. Um, Not exactly, but pretty much. And I they were like labeled as a terrorist organization in the rest of the world, but I think in Japan they're still like just a different group now, but they're not necessarily a cult. Like they're like a business, but they were a cult and but they are a cult. I don't know. But that's not who I was talking about. The one that actually came to mind was the I don't know if you guys have seen this, but um you probably have. Especially I don't know how far it extends out, but at least like I live in LA, at least here there are like billboards and posters. For me particularly, I live in a predominantly Asian like community and like city, and there are a lot of posters and billboards and ads for something called Shenyun, which is China before communism. And there's a uh, Papa Meat video. If you go on YouTube, look up Papa Meat, and I think it's like Shenyun cult or something like that, like the cult of Shenyun or something, whatever. He does a really good deep dive into it. It's really funny. I also thought of the video idea before him. Whatever, it doesn't matter because I mean, no one's gonna believe me anyway. I'm also being stalked by my neighbors. No one's gonna believe me anyway. but I also wrote The Purge before it even came out. Whatever, that's an old one. Everyone's watching me and just picking on me. But anyway, the Shen Yun cult is a cult. And that's, I think, the only one that I can think of that is like off the top of the head, is off the top of the dome, is actually still like a cult where it's like I think like I really want to go see this like play. It's basically just like a play, but there's like, it goes way deeper into like where this group comes from, how they make their money, where the money goes. It's a whole fucking thing. But I remember being like, I want to go see this like Shen Yun play. It's just like this big like elaborate play, but it's like $150 to go see it. And I'm like, I don't know if I really want to spend that as a joke, because that seems a little excessive. So, I mean, it's maybe if I at some point, it's just bad Chiwiwi. Get down, Chiwiwi. Chiwiwi. She's coming in here and fuck up all my shit. She's probably hungry. I have to go feed her. But I mean, I guess there are still cults out there. There's not. Oh my god. There's not a whole lot that I can think of off the top of the head. I keep saying that phrase wrong. Off the top of my head. Whatever. I need to go feed Chiwiwi. But hopefully, it gives some insight as to why I've been so skittish lately. Why I think everyone's looking at me. It's because they are. Everyone is watching me, and they're hoping for my downfall. So, that is it for this episode. I know it's not as long as some of the other ones. Whatever, fuck it. I'm gonna try to have a few more guests on soon because it's been too long. I'm gonna be putting these back out again. Granted, there is no account to promote it, so if you want to show this to someone, I mean, maybe show them a different episode. Honestly, probably not this one. But if you do want to show this to someone, share it. Send it, whatever, do whatever, and subscribe or whatever, I guess. Okay, bye.